it's that in itself is also very, very complex, because a lot of I mentioned earlier that some, the kind of standard thing is that there will be some form of trauma, abandonment in their past, in their childhood history. There will be some form of trauma that has caused that. They weren't able to sort of self-regulate as children. There may be abuse there as children that will lead to that.
Hello and welcome to Obehi Podcast. I'm your host, Obehi A14, and I strongly believe that everyone has a story to share. Now let's get started into this episode.
Now, the thing to make clear is that not everybody who's had an awful childhood become narcissists, because, there's lots of evidence to show that that's not the case. Lots of people have probably been through worse than what some of them have been through, and have come out the other side as adults that are functioning, that are empathy, that know how to be in the world and know how to be in a relationship. They know that they need, it takes time and to work on these things. With a narcissist, they can have a similar experience, but they, for whatever reason, they kind of lock off that part of them. They lock off a part of them so that they're not able to feel. And it's a way of protecting themselves from whatever the issue was for them. That's what the research is saying. There could be many reasons why somebody becomes a narcissist. But it's not something that just happens overnight. This is something that has grown with them. And then there's a scale of narcissism. So, of narcissistic personality disorder, which can border on and lead into psychopathy, become psychopaths. So, that's the extreme end. But we're really talking about kind of like the sort of mid-range where it is strictly narcissistic personality disorder. So it's difficult. It's really hard to say. There isn't one specific thing that you could say, this happens, that's therefore this person will be a narcissist, or this happened to them as a child, that's why they're like this. Because somebody else can have the same experience and not be that. When you are in a relationship with a narcissist, you're going to know, trust me, you are going to be so unhappy. You're going to feel like you're going mad. The narcissist will treat you so shabbily. You might even be financially abused as well. They'll take your money, they'll clean out your bank account, they disrespect you in the home. All of these things, there's so much that they can do to you. What happens is you're on this cycle of abuse, but the idealization period becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, and the abusive side will become much more. So you'll find yourself being devalued much more often, and thrown away and reeled back in, and thrown away and reeled back in, and you have to come off that merry-go-round if you can. Now, to leaving a narcissistic relationship is not easy. You can't just pick up yourself and just leave. What if you've got children as well? So it's not something that I would, I'm not here to tell people to just leave, but that is a decision that you have to come to yourself. If you choose to leave, then the thing is to have a plan. So you have a support network. Who in your support network can help you? Do you have maybe a solicitor that might be able to help you? Do you have friends or somebody close to you that, would help you, that understands what you're going through, that are prepared to support and help you? So having, somebody, support network so having a support network, somebody that can help you legally, maybe a solicitor, or somebody that can give you legal advice. Having a friend or somebody close that can support and help you, especially with children. Deciding what it is that you actually want. This is something that you're going to have to decide. Are you going to stay or are you going to go? If you're choosing to go, then you need to plan it. Like I said, having the support network in place, making sure that you have some money. So if it means putting even $1, £1 away a month, you need to make sure that you have something that you can fall back on. So it's having that's part and parcel of your survival kit, making sure that you even if you have to give it to somebody to put away for you, somebody that you trust. And you need to make sure that they are trustworthy, because the narcissist manipulates so many people around you, make you look like the perpetrator, and they're the victim. So be very, very careful and vigilant about who it is that you trust. It might be that you seek out help from organizations around you that will be able to support you to get through. Okay. Certain websites you can have a look at and they'll have emergency numbers or contact numbers. They also have special get off the website quickly. So say, for example, you're looking at something and they come into the room. You click a button and it'll take you straight away to somewhere else. So they don't even know that you're searching for help on these things. Reach out to those organizations that can support you as well. Reach out to people that can help, like myself or a counselor. If you need to, the one thing that I'm going to say is this: you need to stay safe. So if there's any possibility that you are at harm, you need to get out and get somebody to help you to do that. And what I would say as well is that you do need the support, because even when you are out, the narcissist will manipulate and will cause as much harm to you as possible emotionally. If you have children, then do what you call grey rocking. You need to have some strong boundaries in place. That's what got us into trouble in the first place. We didn't have any boundaries. Know what is non-negotiable for you in a relationship, what you will tolerate and what you will not tolerate. And if you do that right at the beginning of any relationship, then the likelihood of you'll just turn off the narcissist, because they'll go elsewhere, because there's no point. If you've got your boundaries tight and in place, then you're going to be harder to control and manipulate. And because they're lazy, they don't want to do the hard work to break you down. So you have your boundaries in place. So those are things that you need to start to think about, making sure you've got boundaries, making sure you've got a support network around you, making sure that you start to think about your future, saving up for a deposit for another house or a flat somewhere else away from this person without them knowing. Have somebody around you that can support you to help you to do that. If you have children and you do leave, grey rocking is something that is helpful. It's not the be all and end all, but it's a start. And grey rocking is something that you can do. Speak very little with the narcissist. If you've got kids and they want to share, they will also mess that up as well. They will say, I want to see the children today, or you'll make arrangements, then they might not show.
If you enjoy this podcast, make sure you subscribe so you never miss any of our future episodes. Rate and review Obehi Podcast and share with your friends who might need it. I remain Obehi Ewanfo. Thank you so much for listening, and talk to you in the next episode.